Okay, so remember that we've learnt about solutions so far, which are when a solute is dissolved into a solvent, and the solvent is normally a liquid like water. So in this container here, we have water particles, which are the solvent, and we could dissolve something in it, like salt, and the salt we call the solute. But solutions are only one type of mixture, and there are lots and lots of different types of mixtures, and they depend on 3 different factors. The first one is, what state is the main material in? And the main material we often call the dispersion material, because the other material disperses into it. So the first question we ask is this dispersion material a solid, a liquid, or a gas? In our salt water example before, the dispersion material, or the solvent, was a liquid. But we can have solid and gases as the main material in a mixture as well. So the second question we need to ask is, what is the state of the dissolved material that we're adding to the main material? The state of the dissolved material. So again, we're checking if that is a solid, a liquid, or a gas. In our salt water example, we added salt as the dissolved material, and salt is a solid. But as we've learnt before, we can dissolve liquids and gases as well. But the third question we need to ask is, how big are the particles that are dissolved? Particle size. And there are 3 different categories we use for particle size. We look if they're small, medium, or large. So small particles, we've actually already learnt about. A mixture that has small particles that are evenly spread apart or evenly dissolved, these are called solutions. So we've already learnt about solutions, such as seawater, and the properties of solutions are that the particles are evenly mixed, and that light, if you shine a beam of light through it, light passes straight through. Straight through. But if particles that are dissolved are clumped together into a medium size, so you might have a few different particles of the solute clumped together, these type of mixtures are called colloids. And one example of this is fog, which has medium-sized particles of water that are mixed into air as the main material. And the main feature of colloids is if you shine a light through them, the light scatters, which means if we shine a beam through it, we can see the beam as it passes through. Something like milk or fog, if you shine a torch through that, you can see the beam of light as it goes through the mixture. And lastly, for mixtures that have large particles dissolved into the main material, so big particles like this, often we can actually see these particles. And these mixtures are called suspensions, because the large particles are suspended into the liquid or the other main material. So one example of a suspension would be mud, which has dirt particles, large-sized dirt particles mixed in with water. And the main property of suspensions is that they settle generally over time, which means all the particles, if you leave them, generally will fall to the bottom of the container that you put them in. They settle out over time. And one final special type of mixture is called an emulsion. And emulsions are a type of colloid, so they still have medium-sized particles, but they are a liquid that's mixed with another liquid. And lots of foods are emulsions, such as milk and mayonnaise. So these mixtures have medium-sized particles of a liquid that's dissolved into another liquid, which is normally water.